What up, gang? Welcome to, the Hidden Gems podcast, man. I'm your host, Coach Jesse, and this is my right-hand man, Coach Scott.
How y'all doing?
Man, we are here. We are blessed, and we've been away. So this is our rebranded show. It's not our first one, but we have disappeared on y'all for a little bit, and that's because, you know what I mean?
Working on projects
Yeah.
for sure. One, working on the school, the online academy that we're growing, Active Strength Co. So you can look it up on school. Link will be in the description here. Working on also getting the gym outfitted with the right pieces of equipment that we wanted.
Absolutely.
Building out the programs, not just online, but our own tailored brand of what we think works and how we can represent that and show that to parents. And to go along with that, getting the new vault equipment, now being able to do testing for
That's big.
just the smallest things and actually implement. Shout out to Les Spellman and what he does with implementing the speed things that he does, right? And then tracking it and getting that down for kids is, I think, huge for parents to be able to see.
Yeah, the athlete profiling. So we started that this week with some kids, just being able to measure their force output, their symmetry from leg to leg or arm to arm, their isometric strength, how strong their tendons are, because there's different type of runners out there.
We were just talking about that today, actually.
Yeah.
Like David versus Deshaun, right? David is complete power runner. Like it is very obvious.
100%.
That's why he does well in like triple jump and long jump. Deshaun does well in the same, but his is a completely different factor. His is springy. It's all like almost finesse.
Right.
It's very, very like quick twitch.
Oh, man.
And
100%.
they're amazing to watch because it's so different.
So now we can really assess a kid, and we've been doing this for a while, so we can look at a lot of kids and guess where they fall in that category. But it's cool now to be able to give the athletes and the parents the data.
Yeah, I think the data is huge because I can't tell you how many times daily basis being in it, like someone asks me, well, how high is your vertical, or how high do you think I can jump, or how much weight do you think I can lift? And I'm like, well, look at your sheet. Let's look at the numbers. Let's go on the treadmill and check your profile. You can say, hey, you went from 9 miles an hour to 13 miles an hour, and here's your weights that went up with you on the lifting, and you see the results. Like, we're getting better form, we're getting stronger, it's like more powerful. It's incredible to see for me because like it's nice to be able to create a program and say, hey, this does work, and watch it work in live time, day in, day out to me.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. I'm excited for the growth and for what we can do for the kids. So yeah, let's jump into current events and what's going on with, like, we're on the sports performance kind of realm.
Right.
With that ACL injuries, right? It seems to be quite the epidemic right now.
It is what I think we've had 5 or 6 in the past week.
It's been nice. A couple of them, which the most recent, the homie, former KC Chief Cheetah. I was really hoping to get him back. You know what I mean? I really wanted the Dolphins to like self-destruct and him come back in like week 10. But yeah, man, that was gruesome.
Sometimes you got to destroy to build, and it looks like he was happy about it. You know what I mean? I don't know, but like I've never smiled after a major injury like that. Happy about him, so.
Yeah. Malik Neighbors, also another one. We've had some young athletes. Man, the kid, Giovanni, huge soccer star. So he is at 18. So and I think there was Red Wings, maybe, no.
Alexander Barkov, the Baylor freshman, and then Michael Perez, but I'm not exactly sure. I need to look up sport.
So quite a few athletes going down with the ACLs. So as a coach, and a strength coach, you ask yourself, man, was this something that was preventable? Are these guys doing the right progression throughout the season? Are they working to strengthen those ligaments? Do they have the symmetry between the quads and the hamstrings to prevent tears and things like that?
So for me, I look at players like Tom Brady, LeBron James, Derrick Henry, who are all taking huge leaps and bounds. Like, it's a percentage of their income to take care of their body. And you notice that these guys are usually healthy. Normal players or college players, they may not have millions of dollars, but I look at it, are you still doing the same things that you could be doing? Because you do have access to quite a bit when you're on that big of a stage.
Right.
So are you doing the small things that you need to be doing? And if you are, kudos to you. Then we may need to figure out the turf situation, because the rise of it has gone up since turf has come into play for a lot of fields. NFL players now, they're still I can't remember, it's a notorious field that's taken down quite a few players as of late. I want to say maybe Jacksonville?
Sure. Yeah,
Little
no, I
asterisk
mean,
by that, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's always certainly that's been an issue since turf has became, again, the surface to play on now. But I think something that is really what I'm seeing a lot more, what I believe is a big cause of it is now kids are specializing in just one sport, right? The movement patterns have just signaled down to this one thing. That's all they know how to do. So when their body
Yep.
gets in any other kind of predicament, they're in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is crazy. And it's sad that, more people haven't got up to coaching young girls to do more movements at a younger age.
That is,
I think from just looking at it, obviously their bone structure and things are a little bit different, which causes a piece of it. But I think a big part of it is they don't start doing super, I don't want to generalize this, but from what I've seen in my 15 plus years of coaching and doing this is most girls don't really get serious about this stuff until they're later in middle school, maybe, and they're one of the top tier. While I think little boys are always coached, like we're playing sports as soon as you can go,
as soon as you can move, yeah.
and we're going to try everything. Dad, we're going to do baseball and football and like figure out what you're good at. And a lot of the really good athletes, they do it all because they are good at everything. But I think we need to really start training these young girls earlier so they don't,
Yeah, they're like 8 times more likely to get ACL injury than men are, but you see it. I think a lot of it has to do in the training patterns too, because since they are behind and a lot of ACL injury come from cutting and planting, not having a structural base for that at the knee is going to create a ton of problems. So doing exercises like crossover walks or step up lunges and things of that nature to reinforce inside and outside movement and stability will help a lot. And then you have to learn how to jump and then land with those same forces so we're not messing our knees up. But so to speak to that, we do the same things in our own training program. So I want to make sure that like people understand that it's not just it's very preventable. You know what I mean? Like if you just do it the right way.
Right.
Like, yeah. And it's not to say that coaches aren't, right? To a slight, any coach out there that is training female athletes right now, I don't mean that to a slight, but like I do think a lot of what people see on social media is fluff versus like what is done day to day. Like even we put out like funny stuff, or a lot of like just random videos or highlights, but at the end of the day, these kids are getting real training, real philosophies about how to go about movement patterns and why these things are important, and all the way down to like myofascia, right? Like we're having them roll out and stuff like that beforehand. So it's not just a gimmick; it's a real product,
Real, man, real. We want to keep them on the field. That's the big piece about it.
100%.
Yeah, man. So, and you're right. So, like, it could be coaches out there doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because I think another contributing aspect to it is we're a lot faster, a lot stronger, like a lot more force to slow down and stop. You know what I mean? Like, we were talking about this not too long ago, like imagining trying to play collegiate football right now, like professional football, like that.
I have no desire.
Oh my God. They had to dumb the game down. I used to get mad. I was one of those dudes that was like, man, they making it soft, bro. They can't hit nobody no more. They taking it easy on the quarterback. Like they changed the kickoff. Like I was one of those old school, like, man, this is soft.
I loved every rule that got changed.
Bro, man.
I'm a huge fan of all of them.
When I look at it now, I'm like, oh yeah. Like people were gonna die. Like there's no question about it.
100%.
Right? So
I've taken some of those shots and I've given some of those shots, and I'm so glad that you can't do some of them anymore. Dude, it should have been illegal. You know what I mean?
Nah, no question, man. I got destroyed on some kickoffs before, so oh yeah, they did a good thing for those guys.
Hey, I wish I played in that era. It would have been nice to play in this era because of the science of now knowing the science behind everything. I think it would be so much fun because there's so much access to any type of training that you really want to find. Like, hey, I want to work on speed. All right, go to YouTube. I want to work on my vert. Go to YouTube. I want to work on my swing. Go to YouTube. I want to work on pitching. Go to YouTube. All free resources to get everything that you could ever ask for.
Right. It's crazy.
And I'm like, I'm still using it as an adult, these free resources, and I'm able to keep up with. I love that because I'm like, if you guys only knew how much access you really have, like,
Right.
you would use it a lot more. You'd be a lot more smart with it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Well, switching gears real quick, I like to always kind of touch on relationships, right? And what's going on. And just kind of one aspect of that, I hear some crazy stuff out there, and I don't know your thoughts on it, but some folks are trying to talk like Tyreek's personal life almost has something to do with him getting hurt on the field, right? Yeah, I think it's a huge stretch, but the maybe lack of focus, him not being ready, being prepared, not doing all the things he should be because his mind is on all the allegations.
I would believe that if he would have gotten hurt, like in a silly way. He got hurt catching a pass, getting tackled out of the sideline, trying to make a first down.
Right.
He was doing his job to the best of his ability. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I got nothing to say. Like, and then like the thing with Chris Collins a couple weeks ago, just blaring his personal life out. It's like, bro, like, if you, where have we gotten to where commentary has gotten from away from the game, like personal stuff? Like, I understand, like, they said Chris Johnson came back from a family death, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's
Chris Jones.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, my bad.
No.
Chris Jones came back from, a family death 30 minutes before the game. That's awesome. Commend him. And we've seen tons of other players do that. And like, they have great games afterwards because there is that exhilaration of, hey, I got something else to remember why I'm doing this for.
For sure.
What's the point of bringing up people's dirty laundry in the middle of and he had this many yards. It's like, well, that was weird. You got something against my boy?
Man,
Like,
he must have, bro. There was no reason to go there.
that's a hater comment.
Yeah. And he could have, he was doing his job, but it was tasteless, right? What's going there with the whole Swiftie stuff. Like they had to talk about her, right? Announcers were forced to mention her name over and over on the network because they knew it would get it would get clicks. Now, again, it's a business, smart on them. But again, the way he went about airing out Tyreek, that felt personal. That was like,
yeah, that's not like a promo. Not all press is good press. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that. I don't really think it is.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. It's just like, hey, man, yeah, my past is my past. You didn't have to do that, though. Like,
yeah,
you want me airing out your dirty laundry? Just like,
right.
For what?
So switching gears, man, talking about, putting people out there, blasting people out. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark and her whole situation with the WNBA commissioner.
Yeah. So I'm going to start watching the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert's press conferences like they are pre-fight speeches like the UFC because I'm a fan. She's the new Dana White to me.
100%, man. I can't be mad at her. I'm not going to lie. I think when you tell somebody you should be grateful for the platform you are, I think you're right. They should be. We should be. Everybody should be grateful for what we have. Okay, first of all, let's put that out there, all right? Again, the WNBA.
Let the people know what she had said so that way there's some context to it, right?
Got you. So basically she told the world that Caitlin should be grateful that she has this platform, which is the WNBA, so she can make millions upon millions. I think she made $16 million in endorsements this year. So she was like, hey, like without this platform, you wouldn't have that 16 million. So what are you complaining about, right? I agree. Again, without the platform, she wouldn't have it. Even without those deals, right? That's
there.
Right? Like if an organization is taking the L every year, like again, if my business is if my gym was taking the L, like I wouldn't be able to pay my people. Like it would collapse. Right. It wouldn't be. I have trouble understanding.
It's a non-for-profit, like technically the WNBA is.
Wow.
To the NBA.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Because it doesn't make money. And if that's the case, it's basically a write-off.
That's so wild. Love the game of basketball. Equal rights, equality, but business is business, my folks. Like, if the money's not there, how can you expect to get paid the same as you don't have any money, bro?
Well, I compare it to like sales, right? Like you have some jobs where you get a base salary and then you have the ton of upside for commission.
Right.
Right. That's essentially what the WNBA is.
For sure.
Right. Like they have a very small base salary, but you play well, you make some notoriety, and you have a social media presence. You kind of build that out. Here come your endorsement deals for your millions of dollars that you wanted to make, like the NBA players.
Yeah.
So it's like there is an opportunity. It's just a different opportunity because you haven't built the wherewithal. I don't know. I guess, dude, I'm just saying, lower the rim. Like, I want to see girls dunk regularly. I want to see women dunk regularly.
That would be dope. I think that I would go to that game and they would have more ticket sales and it would all work
Like,
out.
they already adjusted the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and like
Yeah.
softball, like sports have already, there's other sports that have already adjusted because they understand that it is completely different and
Right.
like the abilities are different.
Yeah.
Softball versus baseball. Now, girls are starting to play more baseball, but it's still going to have to be like shorter fields if they want home runs. Like, there's just, there's it's
There's a
just,
difference.
there's a
There's
difference.
a difference. Yeah, no, 100%, man. Equal rights. Like the world isn't fair, right? And just in the regular world, in corporate America, most top-notch sales firms have stunning women. Yes, she's smart, but she's way better looking than me. She can get into that doctor's office a lot easier and get him to write off on the prescription that she's trying to sell.
Usually women at the front counter of, like, I used to work a sales job, like door to door, and most places have a woman at the front.
Yeah, the gatekeeper.
The Karen. Not always. There's some cool ones out there, but
And that's just how the game goes, right? So the porn industry,
same way.
women dominate. They make all the money.
Fans is probably the most successful, quickest platform in the past 5 years. I swear, bro. It has to be.
Yeah, I can imagine. I could imagine. So, I guess but still, I'm sure the sales aren't equal. Like,
No.
even though I can put up the same video as Karen,
Yeah.
the gatekeeper's still gonna beat me out. And I think I look, not half bad. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, you just get that, man. So the world,
It's like that with any industry, right? Like there's not going to be equal. Somebody has to get paid more than somebody else for the level of service they are providing to the people that they are providing it for, whether that be entertainment, whether that be a product, a service. Someone's getting paid more for offering a top-notch service. And that's what professional basketball players in the NBA get paid for. They are the best at what they do. It's what they get paid the most. The WNBA, it doesn't excite people the same way. And who pays the bills? The viewers.
period. Put a dot on it. Put a dot on it. I love it. Man, you know what? I'd like for us to jump into our next segment. So, this day in sports. So, let's lead in with a really good one. And I think it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady coming back from Deflategate. My man, he throws 3 touchdowns over 400 yards to show the world that he ain't went nowhere.
Matter if the ball's flat or inflated.
He's the GOAT,
He's
apparently.
him.
Now, I guess he is the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it to him on merit because of the rings, the leadership. Nobody else has more right now. So I got to respect him, right? I got family in Boston who used to give me shit all the time when they were on a dynasty run. Now it's my turn. My turn. Watch out. You get that call. But I really never loved Brady's, because I think of that and just the way he plays. I've never it's hard for me to call him the GOAT, but off the merits, I gotta give him the run. What are your thoughts on the GOAT conversation? Is he your GOAT? Did Deflategate put a little asterisk on that thing?
No, never. To me, it's like the way that other people speak about you, right? As you look around the league for how other players who experience playing against Tom or playing with him talk about him, and like, dude, you can't fucking beat the guy. Like, he's got it. He's got the number. And then when they went on a run back in what was it, 07 through 2010 or 2012, damn near 3 and 5 years, and then I think it's more of the conversation who's the greatest in basketball. Well, he's got the most, so he's like Bill Russell, right? Like he's the GOAT, right? But at the end of the day, you may not like the way he played, but he got the job done. You couldn't beat him if there was more than 30 seconds on the clock. Honestly, if you knew that the Patriots were going to have the ball within the last 5 minutes of the game and they were down, there was a 90% chance you could bet on Tom winning that game.
Yeah.
Like that, how more clutch do you get than that?
Yeah.
If that's what you were known for, is being Mr. Clutch, and then following it up with Super Bowl rings, that's kind of hard not to call you the GOAT.
Right. No, I'll give it to him. Like I said, out of sheer respect, but I mean, Mahomes is my GOAT. I think he's the future guy. Like, right. So give him another 5, 10. You feel me? Because with that being said, this past weekend against the Ravens, my man was the youngest to reach 250 passing touchdowns, right? Shout out to my home, Patty Mahomes. You know what I mean? That's my guy. We go by Pat. I call him Patty the Stud. I've never met the man, actually. But, yeah, dog, I feel like he's somebody who's changed the game.
Oh, yeah.
He's changed the game.
For sure.
Who's your GOAT? Is Tom your GOAT?
Oh, no, not my GOAT. I'm a Mike Vick fan until I die.
100%.
That is Mr. Quarterback. You know what I mean? Okay, I wouldn't say the first because, like, obviously there was others that came before him that were black quarterbacks. Yeah. But, like, he created this man had, I'm pretty sure, a basketball shoe and played football. You know what I mean? Like, how do you do that? Like,
yeah. He was dope, dog. He was dope. So, like, he is my GOAT, 100%. I think, obviously, we grew up in an era where he was super hot. We were at an age where football was probably our world.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And he was at the top. So, I wore number 7 because of him. Like, that was my number the rest of, my career playing from high school throughout because he was that much influence. I played quarterback in middle school and in high school. So, like, that's my guy because he changed the game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Before, everybody wanted to be
a pocket
passer, right? They wanted to be as smart as Peyton Manning. They wanted to be able to have an arm like Dan Marino. But nobody really thought about, like, really running.
Just taking off, you know what I mean?
It's like having wheels like that, like, and playing quarterback, it was unheard of, for real. Some folks did it, some of our people did it back in the day, but not quite like he did it.
He was the first, like, human joystick. Like, people looked at Dante Hall and they're like, holy shit, like, that guy can move. But it's like, yeah, but that guy can move and he can throw. So, like, you could be trying to tackle him and he'll just lob it up 70 yards down the field to whoever.
True dual threat.
And just being like, or fake you out and think you're going to throw it. Like, I'm going to sit back and pump fake. Everybody run deep. See y'all later. I'm getting 30 right now. Just easy.
Right.
And still probably score. It's like, dude, that's not fair. It literally wasn't fair.
On Madden? Who was not? You couldn't stop you, bro. I think that was.
I'm only going to play with the Falcons, and I promise you, I'm not going to lose.
I'm going to destroy you every time.
Engage 8, dude. What?
Yeah. But I think, just like he changed the game, Patty's doing the same thing right now, right? Yeah. Like, kids now, okay, everybody's running, but now everybody trying to throw sidearm, right? They're trying to fucking dive like Superman and make the big throw down the field.
Yeah.
They're practicing this stuff because he's doing it in games, bro.
They just go play baseball.
Like, over and over and over, he's doing it in games.
Yeah.
But you think it's the baseball background?
It's baseball, 100%.
For sure. The sidearm, the way he can, like, flick a ball, like,
yeah,
100%. It's natural. It's so natural.
You don't even have to think about it. And back to the point of, like, having specializations for kids earlier. Like, I did baseball, karate, and football growing up. So, like, my movement patterns were crazy. I learned everything I needed to know, how to move my body. And, like, if you're not like that as a kid, like, a lot of kids don't know how to throw well these days. It's because a lot of kids don't play baseball. You know what I mean? Like, we did it because we were young, you know what I mean? Just something to do. But a lot of kids don't play baseball, like T-ball or any, like, machine pitch. They didn't get up to that age, so, like, they don't throw well. It's a weird thing.
I hadn't thought about it like that.
Ask a football kid to throw a ball that's not a quarterback. Watch how it comes out of his hand. Actually, don't even watch his hand. Watch his arm motion. You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know immediately.
That's funny. Yeah, funny. So, yeah, my guy, again, shout out to Patty Mahomes, 250.
That's crazy.
Passing touchdowns, the youngest to ever do it. Go, KC, let's go. I thought you was going to say your guy,
Herbie? He's not there yet.
Not there
yet. Like, we're not.
Potential?
To be the youngest ever? No, I think that ship sailed.
Are we winning the Super Bowl? Are we getting to the ship?
I think under Harbaugh we can. There's some good things happening. I still think we got some pieces to fill. Injuries don't help, that's for sure. We're down like 6 players, 6 starters, 2 tackles to be sure about that. So Herbert, hang in there, my guy. We got 2, both starting tackles are out. Joe Alt just went out this week, so that's
that
tough.
was rough.
Yeah.
Y'all lost though? Yeah, we smacked the Ravens. Yeah, the Giants. It's cool.
We weren't proud of that. Yeah, I mean, that helps
That
because,
helps.
I mean,
I told
honestly, you
people
guys were very one-dimensional for a second.
Everybody was scared. I'm like, yo, let's win a few more games so we can make it by. If we can make it by and be like 500 when we get Worthy, we get Rice back, bro.
Yeah, it
man,
helps.
like,
It helps
it's gonna
having
be
weapons.
great. Yeah, he opened it up. He opened the field up. It made it a lot easier for Kelsey and everybody else to get open.
What? When you only have to cover 30 yards in front of you, like the game changes a lot. Like you're just playing goal line defense for the whole field. Like if there's no downfield threat, then like what's everybody line up at 20.
Man, that's crazy. Another moment today in history, Art Shell, he became the first African-American coach to ever bless us. So shout out to him. This was Art Shell. He coached his first game for the Raiders and beat the Jets 14-7, making history as the first black head coach in NFL history. That was huge, man.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't that long ago. I'm not that old, bro.
Born yet.
I was a whopping 3, but jeez, like
Times were
took us a
different.
while. It took us a while new to this.
Times were different.
Yeah.
Times were definitely different because that's off the back of what? Is that Reagan, I think?
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot of obviously racial. I mean, geez, our world today is ridiculous. Feel like we're going backwards, but yeah, it's just crazy. It was so long ago, but it really was, 37 years ago, really.
Yeah.
About as old as I am. And it just shows you like we progressed, but
it's very short.
Yeah, real short.
Very short.
Real short. No. All right, man, let's get into as far as like our coaching tidbit for the day. If you could give advice to that young middle school, high school athlete out there right now, if it's 2 or 3 things that they should do to improve their overall athleticism right now, they can do it at home. They don't need a whole lot. What would you give them?
3 things. Don't need a lot to do at home. First, a stretch routine, right? From head to toe, stretch out, hands, fingers, forearms, work up and down the body, do some type of myofascial release, grab a tennis ball, roll your calves, arms, legs, back, hips, shoulders, get enough sleep, get off your phone, go to bed. I see kids come in all day. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, how late were you up? I went to bed at 10. What time did you go to bed? 12. Go to bed. Like, why are you up, bro? Like,
okay, the answer. Here's the answer. We had
right. Like,
pretty simple.
And I did the same things, right? Like, I get it. You're staying up late, but like, if I can help you, tell you what's wrong, like you'll feel better in here. Your weight will go up because you got enough rest to be able to lift properly. And then eat more. Like, especially if you're an athlete and like you want to be stronger, you want to put on weight or like you want to get faster, like you need energy. I see a lot of very athletic kids who aren't carrying enough weight to perform the way they want to. They just don't have enough oomph behind them. Really understanding your nutrition, not just looking at it like, oh, I did eat, but this is fuel because I want to hit this goal. Like, start being serious about what you're actually eating.
That really starts with the parents, right? And I know as parents it's tough. We got a lot of stuff going on and even may eat differently than the kids. First of all, you have to be the example. But if you're even not going to be that, like, you got to understand what your kids need. I wish I knew what I know now about nutrition before I had my kids when they were younger, because I would have raised them differently. Now they are used to having a bunch of junk food, right? So it's hard to always say no and this and that. But I have a buddy of mine, and kudos to him. He tells his mother-in-law, like everybody, babysitter, this and that, do not feed my kid candy. Do not give my kid pop. do not take my kid to fast food restaurants. His daughter will kill, bro, vegetables, will like beets and all of that stuff. She's with it because she don't know no better.
Right.
She like fruits are her snack and they're good to her, right? But again, it starts with us, the parents. We have to give our kids the appropriate nutrition so they can be the best athletes. Like we want to shove them in the gym and tell them they're not working hard enough and this and that, but we gotta provide them with those
Bro,
things.
get home and hasn't even ate yet. It's like, well, of course he ain't got no energy. I'm
Right.
like, get some food in you. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and like it helps to understand why. And I just think a lot of that goes over the head of parents because they don't know what they don't know, right?
Yeah.
They know that the kid needs help or the kid needs to lose weight, but having the guidance with that coming from a coach and like someone who is telling you, hey, we've made these mistakes, like, and your kid's going to probably be expected to whip into some type of shape by their coach from their sport.
Yeah.
And if they go past the high school level, the first thing that they're going to address is some type of probably bodily issue. Hey, you need to either get stronger, gain more weight, lose weight, get faster. There's something in the chain link that we saw that we're going to immediate fix because we want you to hit the field. We want you to be able to play. So if you're going to set them up for success, set them up with the habits of knowing that these are the things that are going to get you to where you want to be.
Yeah. And I know it's some parents out there who they don't know. It's a lot of people out there who don't really understand nutrition and know. So let me break it down like the simplest form real quick, okay? So protein is our building block. We need that. That's what's building our muscles.
100%.
We need to recover, we need to build, we need to grow, right? When we go to the gym, we actually are breaking down our muscles. We're working hard enough to feel the burn, to feel the stretch. We're ripping apart our muscles, literally. So when we sleep, right, recovery, which Coach already talked about, and then having proper nutrition is what helps us grow to be the strongest and the biggest we can be. So if we're not eating protein, we're not giving what we're doing in the gym as much love as we should, right?
No.
So that's the first thing. We got to make sure that we are getting, I would say, at least 3 or 4 meals with the appropriate amount of protein on your plate, okay? And again, we break it down simple. Think like the size of your fist, all right? If you have a chicken breast or a piece of steak or whatever, like just if you ball your fist up really tight, that's what you're thinking about. When you go to your carbohydrates, right? That's your energy block. That's your battery. So you need enough of that to be able to operate and run, okay?
Long and short term.
Yes, absolutely. And you don't want, when you mention the long and short term, you don't want a bunch of short term like sweet sugar type of sugars, or excuse me, carbohydrates, which are sugar, that are going to just burn out of you real quick. Okay. If you put something like that right before you work out or about to play a game or even during a long soccer game or marathon, you see marathon runners do it all the time, right? They got honey packs, tournaments. Exactly. You want to carry something like that because it's immediate. It's going to give you that energy right there. But like your sweet potatoes, oatmeal, those are going to be longer lasting ones that you need, right? To help you get through the day, sustain, have good workouts, the whole 9 yards, right? So you got to make sure you have good carbohydrates. Now, again, you don't want French fries and breads and a bunch of carbohydrates because then your body's going to store it away and convert it into fat if you don't use it, right? So there's that. And your fats. Fats are good for energy as well. So, if you are super lean, bodybuilder, shredded, you're not taking in any, fat content, this and that, but your body's not going to operate with the same energy. You're going to, you're going to be deficient and low on that end. So you got to have the appropriate amounts of that. But again, if you think simplistically, think about your protein being there, your carbs, your fist, if you make a fistful, throw some rice in there, throw some oatmeal in there, right? That's the type of carbohydrates you want to have. And then your fats, all right, if you did a drop up olive oil, no bigger than your thumb. All right. If you got almonds or cashews or whatever, like if you make a fist and kind of make like a hole in there, if you dumped cashews or whatever in there, like that makes like a nice little healthy snack for a serving of fats. Right?
I've been overfeeding.
I mean, yeah, I need the, and again, that's just baseline. I'm talking baseline, but again, if we're talking about athletes out here that need to be fueled and need to really go, right, they're gonna need a lot more than that. They're gonna need more than that.
Because I'm like, you want to gain weight, but you don't eat.
Yeah.
Like, you have to eat. Like, it is part of the process. We have to have more to get more mass. We got to intake more mass.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to make that make sense, especially since you're burning calories on a daily basis, because athletes move more than like a sedentary or regular adult does on a daily basis.
Right.
Between school, practice, run around with their friends, games, like week to week, I would bet that a kid moves a lot more than an adult does. So like, it's calories that they don't even think about that they're burning, that they don't realize that, hey, I need to refuel this just to make sure that I'm not gassed over here for working out. I would equate it to a construction worker, basically. Like, that person, if they wanted to continue to work out outside of their job, they're going to have to intake a lot more just to be able to work out, because they've already done physical labor all day.
Right.
So it's a simple math equation of just more.
And then, I'm going to finish it off, I think, I'm going to throw out one thing that you can do with no equipment. You don't need mommy, you don't need daddy, is jump. Jump. Be springy. All kind of jumps. Little jumps, big jumps, vertical, horizontal, jump.
That's a good one.
Right?
Have you asked an adult to jump lately?
I don't know if I would dare. I mean, I have, and they all say no. They all are like, no. Like, yeah, how about this box jump? No, man, no. Yeah, it's one of those things, just like when you talk about adults, just like running. At some point, people just stop and they never really think about it. Like,
the average person that stops running, like, the last time they run is like, I think 21 years old, most people.
Bro, if you had to get out, you really couldn't.
That's why you see all these videos. Most people are like, hey, you want to race? You want to race? And like, first 3 steps are just face planting.
Hamstring. Oh, man.
I couldn't imagine not being able to run. Like, one of the scariest things to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm blessed. I'm glad I can, man. I'm, again, torn a Achilles and a knee, and I've been in some rough spots where all I wanted to do was be able to walk. So definitely thankful I've been able to bounce back. And I think it's just, again, this comes with being on the ground, working, being in the gym, being consistent, being diligent, pushing yourself, right? Just like the athletes got to do. And I learned that through playing sports. That's why I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do and still talk about sports performance training with you, because like, I didn't have it when I was a kid, and I love helping these athletes out, and even the adults, getting them active and getting them moving, because it changes your life.
Don't stop working out. Like, if I can give anybody any type of advice, especially athletes, do not stop. Like, once you start, just keep on doing it. You're going to need it,
and train like an athlete. Don't just train. Don't switch it up and just do like yoga.
Yeah.
Or again, learn from my mistake, right? I stopped because I pursued bodybuilding and I was hyper focused on that, and I didn't want to get hurt out there playing flag football or doing some speed workout. So I completely stopped for about 7 years, and this is the exact reason why I believe I tore my Achilles, because I jumped right back into it like I never left. Because when that dog went in your head, like you that dog always. But I was not. My body was not ready, and I was producing a lot more force. I was bigger, I was stronger, because I had been bodybuilding for 7 years, and my Achilles had no idea what was about to happen. Like, you need to chill your big ass out, and that's exactly what it did. It popped, man. It was super loud. Like, I mean, big rubber bands. Like, everybody in the gym heard it. Stop. Laying there on the ground, like, what just happened? I was doing some hurdle hops to sprint. I looked back, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I must have stepped on the hurdle. That's what happened. That's what the pop was. That's how I ended up falling, this and that, right? And then I look back, and the hurdle's just standing there, right where I had it. I was like, okay, I think I know what that pop is. A homie ran over. He was like, what was that? Like, he's looking on the ground. He thought that I had ripped up the turf. It was so loud, right? And even before I stood up, I was like, man, again, you don't feel like it doesn't hurt, right? So I'm like, I think I know what that is. Just being, and again, around sports and in the game and sports performance training, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is my Achilles. Let me check real quick. I stood up and I put a little pressure on one that felt a little funny. It was like, yeah, there's no bounce back, no dorsiflexion here. So
Oh,
yeah, I just went and set it on the side and it was like, all right, let me figure this out. What we gonna do?
man.
And yeah, it was a tough time. So anyway, to learn from my mistake, do not stop training like an athlete. Jump, run, squat, take care of your knees, your body, all the stretching, all the stuff. Do that, man.
Hang from stuff.
Yeah.
Like, do pull-ups. It matters.
You got anything?
But we were supposed to talk about this NIL money,
Oh, okay.
the big turn in sports. I know we're about a few years into this, right? And I think the conversation, because the regulations have changed, is going to start changing the way that people look at NIL money.
Yeah.
Because I think, oh boy, is now vying for like a 7th year to play again, some quarterback. That's wild to me, bro. Just get out of college. You know what I mean? Like, go start your life.
I think you can be almost like 8 years removed from high school and still have eligibility.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They don't count JUCO anymore. You still can get a red shirt, and then you can still get a medical, right? And then you got 4 more years after that.
Well, it is crazy, but then I look at like overseas soccer and the way that they have like their pro league set up is like it's kind of small schools and bigger or small organizations and bigger organizations before you get to like the premier league of that city.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of how colleges are going.
Yeah.
You got smaller schools, you got bigger schools. You're getting paid to play. You're getting better endorsement deals from bigger schools. So there's a longer pathway for people to play. And even if you don't make it, there's better incentives for not making it, which is cool. For some sports like baseball, I think it's one of those sports where it does make sense to have longer development rather than sitting in the pros versus taking a couple years to do JUCO, then heading to a D1 program, and then really shining and getting picked up, by the MLB because you have a little bit older, but you still have a better shot. So it's a little, there's some gives and takes with it, but like,
Yeah, for sure. But like if in football, I think about like if you had to go that long, you in your prime,
yeah, I would give it up, bro.
right? You were in your prime years, so that's like Jesus. But I mean, and the crazy thing is that I remember loving the game so much, I would have done that, and so I know cats are gonna do it. Like if they still had any glimpse of hope of getting to the league, like if I play this one more year and show them what I can do, cats are gonna take it. I promise you. I had homies chasing like Europe,
Yeah.
like being in the European league and nah, bro, getting paid nothing, or then going to play semi-pro ball and this like
Nah, if I'm not doing the big thing, I don't want it. At 25, like 25-year-old running back that hasn't made it to the league, you think that's going to go over well with any team?
I mean, you got homie from Arkansas who just got done with his baseball career. He's a sophomore, 29 years old, Arkansas University receiver.
As a receiver, the running back lifespan is a lot shorter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And also, he has a well-preserved body from playing baseball.
Yeah.
Like he took no shots for 8 years. You know what I mean? Like how long?
If you get in the league at 28, 29, you only got a few more years after that, bro. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, but still, I guess you could say the average NFL lifespan is only 2-3 years anyway for a running back right now. So, but again, if it's taking you that long, something else must have been going on. But
I don't want to hang around college kids that long. I don't think. Like imagine like a 17-year-old and like you're 26, bro. Like I've experienced real life off campus. Fucking might have. I might have a kid.
like, no, you most likely do.
Like when I was in college, my teammates had kids. They were only a couple years older than me. But
So I would.
But you wouldn't 26. You wouldn't 26 in college.
Yeah,
Like that's different. You wouldn't 26 chasing the dream. Like, hey, bro, go be an accountant. You know, learn a trade.
It's gonna happen. You watch it's happening. And the NIL, man, it's changing.
Before I forget, buddy that's like 51 years old went just is like a college freshman playing now. Just signed up at a college. It made national news.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did it, but 58 years old. Could you imagine getting hit by a 225-pound linebacker?
No way.
Getting ran over by a boy that was 404 as a D lineman? Never go well. Imagine if Joe Alt hit that guy on like just moving up the field on a shed block.
Oh yeah. Death.
Broken spine, death. Hip replacement.
No, man.
What are we doing?
How do you feel about these young athletes getting this big money? I think I want to say, is it maybe Archie Manning with the top grossing NIL deal? I'm maybe close to $6 million. Well, I'll take a look at that, but I mean 6, 7,
Dude, good
$1
for
million. Yeah,
I think it's awesome. I wish I would have had the opportunity. If that was on the table, I would have probably tried a lot harder, you know?
Right.
Like, I think it's cool though. I think the kids, as long as it comes with the right guidance, so someone's helping them in their corner the right way to show a young, impressionable mind how to be responsible with that much money, I think it's a great thing. And I think we're seeing a lot of that. The sponsorships are great. But I also think, too, kids are learning that if I want to keep this money, I got to be responsible because I'm not trying to lose that money.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that you're seeing right now. And this whole industry is exploding right now because there's different opportunities. But now these agents have more opportunity to get the money sooner along with these kids. So you got some sharks out here, you got some goons. So parents have to be knowledgeable, up to date, knowing what's going on before they sign these crazy contracts and set their baby up for failure.
Right. Get a lawyer.
Yeah. Right. And the kids got to understand, they got to understand money at a much younger age now, or they parents, right? And again, product of your environment. If your mommy and daddy don't know nothing about money and you get caught with a goon, if you try to let Uncle Ray Ray be your agent.
Yeah. Nah. Kids, once you get close to a deal, find a lawyer, put him on retainer because you're going to need him. For your parents, one, to protect you legally for your own money because you did this, right? Like you are the talent here. So it is your money at the end of the day. If you want to just go spend that and help people, that's fine. However, it is your money at the end of the day, and don't let anybody talk you out of it because you did this with your talent. So get you some protection.
No, 100%, man. But I'm glad to see the opportunity there. The kids earned it, right? We've been working, grinding, putting, sweat and tears and sacrificing. I tore many things, broke many things in college, and then get a dime.
Destroying, they crucified that man back in the day for having his own channel, making enough money, and being a great kicker.
Right.
But now look at him. Hey, he walked so the rest of us could run.
Yeah. And for those you don't know what he's mentioning, right, like he basically had to make a decision back when he was in college whether he wanted to play sports or, follow this YouTube path career of being an influencer. And he chose the influencer route and it paid off for him. Maybe he's, a very successful man. But yeah, that was a problem. He couldn't get money. They wouldn't make him make money off of what he was doing as a YouTuber because he was playing collegiate ball, which is crazy.
They're two separate things. Like if I have a job and go to school, what's the difference?
Right. I love seeing it. Now, I do think they still have a lot of work to do as far as regulating the money, much where it comes from, and commitment wise. I still need to learn more about like what's the plans with, these kids. They sign these deals and then they were just jumping in the portal like the next year and dipping. So I like seeing more of a performance-based type of situation. I don't know if you heard about Middle Tennessee, I believe it is. They basically cut the budget for their helmets and uniforms down. They saved $660,000 and they basically made a NIL fund for kids that they recruited, and it was incentivized. So you score so many touchdowns, you do so many X, Y, and Z things, you get more money out of the pot. I love that. And I think and I hope that more, especially the smaller schools, I think they're going to catch on to that and be like, all right, like if we can entice these kids to come play here because they can get this bread and only have 2 uniforms instead of 6.
Right.
Let's do it. Like, I'm going to take that deal. If I can get more money, I'll go buy me some jerseys. Mitchell and Ness. Like, you feel me? Like, nah.
A school that I think will be very interesting to watch in the next coming years because of NIL is Notre Dame, because they're an independent. So all theirs is just from donors, basically. They're like a private, they're outside of all the leagues or associations. So they don't share any of the prize pot with anybody if they win one of those leagues or if they win a bowl game. So if they continue to win, I think it's substantial. But all that money would go to the school of Notre Dame. So that means NIL money to recruit. All they got to do is have a halfway decent year.
Yeah, I mean, they strong. They I think they'll always be strong. Like, cause again, just a prestigious private school that's balling, and they are.
But then when you can go to a private school that is very well accredited after and pays well after you get out of school, like their median average is way up there.
Yeah.
But having that and then having a private school that has extra just free money, dude, that's like
I like how shaking those shit though right now. Like, it's pretty cool to see these upsets happening in college football because these teams are able to snatch kids out the portal. They're able to recruit better. They're able to get better talent. And now you don't see the lopsided like it is every single year. You don't know who's gonna win. You don't. I mean, we know Middle Tennessee ain't beating Bama, but still, it's some crazy stuff going on out there. And I
like that Bama's not dominating necessarily no more. I like that the whole SEC is basically flipped on its head right now. I love that the Pac-10 is starting to figure it out, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Big Ten's got some work. But I think the conferences, the stronger that they get and realize, I think once the money situation gets figured out and better regulated, the conferences themselves will get more competitive with each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's all that, like, really they're trying to do, because right now, honestly, the SEC has been, it's the SEC. It's got the most money, so it can afford to do whatever it wants when it comes to like getting players. But kids are realizing now that like, I don't have to go there to get this much money, and I can still get recruited because I'm really, really good. It doesn't matter who I'm playing against.
Right.
As long as I can prove myself on the field, let me get paid.
Get paid now. So no,
if I can leave college with a couple mil and not go to the league, I'll figure it out with a couple mil.
Yeah, I'm truly excited to see what happens. I got a couple people in mind that I'm hoping are very successful and do well and pay daddy back one day for all those long hours at practice, coaching, training. Just saying, I'm here. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, it's changing the game. I love it. I love where things are going in sports. It's been a crazy week, but again, I want to shout out the boy Patrick Mahomes for doing this thing, 250 passing touchdowns, the youngest to ever do it. We had some great moments in history on this day. I want to thank you, man. Appreciate you, dog. Until we do it again, though.
Down with that. Down with that.
My God.